Hello, good evening, and welcome to the PinkUn Show, our dedicated Canaries shenanigans that's almost certainly been bad for English football. I'm Michael Bailey. We are here at the Woolpack Public House in the centre of Norwich. We are live and... Mike's on, good. Over the next 30 minutes or so, we will reflect on City's Bolton victory, the championship picture, tuck into some mousse for dessert, hear from Russell Martin and Wesley Houlihan, flip the bird, play Pirates of the Caribbean, and look forward to some brizzle drizzle. We will do all of this in the company of tonight's guests, who are Eastern Daily Press columnist, City statto, and occasional fourth official David Spud Thornhill, vital Norwich editor Nathan Tuck, and his City supporting son Calum. Great to have you all on. Hope we're all well. How are we doing, Spud? Thanks for coming in. You well?
I'm very well, thank you. Buzzing for a long time for all these wins and top of the league. So while Norwich are top league, I'm tops.
That's a pretty good way of putting it, I would say. Nathan, you're well, and also introduce us to Calum.
Yeah, this is Calum, my son Calum. He's seen me do this once or twice and just fancied to go himself. So thank you for having him on.
Oh, our pleasure. How you doing, Calum? You well?
Yeah, good.
Good. Is it all right with Wesley Houlihan looking over your shoulder?
Yeah, he's all right.
He's all right. Yeah. Just let us know if he gets up to anything he shouldn't do, because he's a bit of a mischief one. Right, okay, well, this is a big night, he says, I hope, brackets, fingers crossed, because we are live on PinkUn.com and the PinkUn Facebook page, I believe, but also, I think we're live on Twitter, at PinkUn, hello if we are, and as we always used to be, I think we're live on the PinkUn YouTube channel. Dan's over there and he's looking quite relaxed and saying yes. He's making weird gestures, actually. So all that's missing is Mustard TV, Dan. There we go. Never mind. So thanks for watching the experiment. Let's hope it all works out. I mean, given we haven't even been on time the last few weeks, including Andy Lawn, you know, we're doing pretty well so far. So fingers crossed. So there's loads of ways for you to watch us and, of course, get in contact with us, although whether I'll be able to follow them is a different story. But if you want to get in touch with us, please do, be it on Pookie's perennial party, Tetty taking one for the team in the, you know, whether Marley Watkins made the right move, an actually updated championship table, sorry about that last week, and especially who you want to see get a run out for Team Russ versus Team Wes come May. Maybe more importantly, which side. More on that, of course, later in the show, and get your suggestions in as well, guys, because we'll be coming to you as well. So you can get all your comments through to us here down the pub. Simply post your words below the live feed in the PinkUn Facebook page, which is probably the best one. I am going to try and check Twitter and YouTube if we can get around to it, but you can appreciate with a mic and a script and everything else, I literally will be running out of arms. But please get in touch with us and we'll certainly do our best over the course of the night. Stephen Noakes says, hey from a very snowy Virginia, and he's put a snowman emoji, always love an emoji. Paul McKevlog, hope that's right. Hi guys, from Soham, a little bit closer than Virginia. Simon Meadows, loving Fark time. The celebrations in the 93rd minute when Pookie scores the winner against Bolton Wanderers. What they were fine moments too. And Harvey Monk says, hey Michael, hey Harvey, good to see you. I hope that means you can watch us, so that's all good. So once again, Wesley Houlihan, just over Calum's shoulder there, and Onel Hernandez. Nathan, are you going to do the honours? Do you think? Oh, let's call it. Oh. Perfect, good work, good practice. They are both here to show just how far down the intelligence chain certain members of the New World Deer subfamily really are, as they help us deliver this week's Norwich City headlines. Go Calum, big moment. We've got a few more to come as well. Not Lob earns City more success. Somehow City did it again, throwing away a 2-0 lead and yet finding the reserves to win deep in injury time against Bolton. Scarves, scenes, incredible. Talk is cheap. A certain national radio personality decided to say championship promotion for Leeds and especially Norwich would be bad for English football because they have foreign head coaches. You know what? I'm not even going to bother going through why it's wrong because it's so damn obvious. We'll just make fun of his clickbait for the rest of the night instead. When legends do battle. May 6th, the day after the season ends, and the day Team Wes Houlihan face Team Russell Martin at Carrow Road. It's a charity game, a celebration of two City heroes, and you never know, it could be even more. And finally, right man at the right time. David Wright gets under 23 gig following Matt Gill's exit for somewhere or other. Can't remember, somewhere south. City are now looking for an under 18s boss, and they're closing in on their man. They also kick off their FA Youth Cup campaign at Port Vale tonight, with the winners heading to Preston in the 4th round. City's under 23s, meanwhile, host Wolfsburg under 23s at Carrow Road on Thursday in the Premier League International Cup. 2 good nights, potentially, for City. Calum, top work, you can stay. Brilliant, well done. Gents, it is also positive at the moment. It's given a slightly different dynamic to the show compared to maybe what we've had in the past. Isn't it great, Nathan?
Absolutely unbelievable, isn't it, really? I think we're all in dreamland. I've got a mate who's a Luton fan, and he sort of texted me in the week and said, you know, we're both doing really well. And I think it's a little unexpected for both of us. So, yeah, it's long may it continue.
Calum, how much are you enjoying it?
It's like, it's insane. Just I haven't been watching. I've been watching Norwich since I was like about 5, and
it's a long time.
I've never seen like a team like this before. It's just like the run is amazing.
How much is your dad telling you that it's not always like this? Or very rarely like this, even if you've been going 60 years.
Yeah.
He's telling me very often.
Yeah. That is responsible parenting. That's what that is, Calum. So don't worry. Spud, I mean, you've seen it all. You probably remember it all as well with that wonderful mind of yours. I mean, what have you made of this current group and what they're doing at the moment?
Well, normally, as you know me, I'm always trying a positive person, and always, even when we're right down, everything's negative, I always try and find something positive. At the moment, I didn't even have to say anything. Everything is positive and everything is great, and it's got so many resemblance of a certain person down south managing us, and going back to Worthington days and Walker days. It's the closeness of the team, from the players to the fans and the club. Everything about it is all positive.
It is indeed, and a remarkable character on Saturday. If I'm honest, when Bolton equalised, I thought, you know what? Finally, this is the point where they've just pushed it a bit too far. The fact that they still found a goal, I mean, it's almost like the only team who's going to stop them is themselves in a way, because they should never have been in that situation in the first place, but they still found it in them to sort it out.
Yeah, I'd have to say that I thought that we'd come back and win after they scored, but even I was resigned to the draw and all that. But yeah, it's just another sign of how well everything is going, and the bit team in us that we will keep going to the end. So.
What more can we say? Fark time, which is what I've lovingly dubbed it. I actually dubbed it Fark time back in February when Norwich get their late winners against Wolves and Ipswich. I say me, I think it might have been Chris Lakey, my boss, actually, who came up with the idea. So it's remarkable, really. So Norwich have scored 12 goals in the final 10 minutes of games that are worth 11 points, which is the difference between being top or, say, 8th at the moment. We've got the equaliser at Birmingham, 2 goals against Preston, win over Wigan, winner at Nottingham Forest, and then the miracles of Millwall, which was still 2 goals in the last 5 minutes of injury time, and now Bolton. Just phenomenal stuff. Nathan, do you have any worries? Are there any worries at the moment?
Not at the moment. It's absolutely flying, and even and I know what you guys are saying there about like just this could be the end of it when Bolton equalised, but I looked at that, and my sort of mindset is now, well, there's 2 minutes of actual time. There'll probably be 5 minutes. I'm thinking we've got 7 minutes. There'll be another chance or 2. And with someone like Pookie on the pitch, he's going to take them. And he did. A brilliant finish.
Have you ever left a game early yet, Calum?
I think the last game we left early was in 2015 against Brentford. Where Alex Pritchard was just destroying us.
He was,
yeah.
Which was, notable for the fact that he then came here.
Yeah. I was about to say, we never leave early. We never leave early.
Rumbled.
Yeah,
I think
rumbled one.
That's fair play. Well, I mean, and you wouldn't want to leave early at the moment, would you? Because you know, as your dad's saying, it's up to the last minute, isn't it?
Yeah, we're sort of turning into like the Man United of the Championship, aren't we?
When they were good.
When they were good.
Good memory again.
Always scoring late goals, and I think it's what keeps you on the edge of your seat, because when teams equalise or you go down a goal, and like you're in this position at the moment where you're known to getting late goals, I think it's just like you sort of expect it, but you sort of don't.
It's that confidence, isn't it? A belief that's just going through everyone.
That we're not going to lose.
Exactly, which is a phenomenal thing to have. All right, well, we should just talk a little bit about TalkSport and the Moose. I'm conflicted because I really don't want to talk about it because the whole episode is clickbait for me and it's just irrelevant. But of course, Norwich fans will defend their club to the hilt. I'm sure the people inside the club would defend the club to the hilt. And really, it's a ridiculous argument just to get people angry, I assume, because both, and indeed, there's probably a bit of unity here between Norwich and Leeds fans because they've got coaches doing a brilliant job at bringing through young British players.
Yeah, that's such a silly comment because if he actually done his homework and look what Norwich are actually trying to produce on the long-term future through the academy, he'll be seeing we're doing a lot of good for the English game, and that statement's just so wrong. I did actually take the bait and I did reply back to him. Nice to see that I got some comments back, all positive on the side, and you know me, I'll stick up for Norwich all the while. And yeah, it's such a strange comment, and if you actually think about it, what do you actually notice? You don't actually notice the coaches more, you think more of the players on the pitch. And on Saturday we had 4 players who started up from our academy.
Yeah, exactly. I think we've seen quite enough of that. I can't even remember if he said it was bad for English football or bad for the Premier League, but I mean on both scores. English football.
I would just like to point out though that Maurizio Pochettino and Jurgen Klopp getting their teams through to the last 16 in the Champions League, it's terrible for the English football.
Yeah.
It's awful.
Exactly.
Absolutely awful.
And all those players, of course. And I mean, West Ham have such a great progression of English talent at the moment with all their English
managed
players.
by an Englishman.
Well,
no, they're not.
The idea is that we're all talking about it and we've given them airtime. So
what he
we've
wants.
mentioned a name. There we go. I once told him to chop at Stamford Bridge. It's one of my proudest moments in football journalism. So there we go. Worth flagging up as well. And you can read some of what Teemu Pukki had to say, but Teemu and Jordan Rhodes, Louis Thompson and Marco Stiepermann were all at the James Paget Hospital in Gorleston visiting the children's ward, ditching out goodie bags, presents all paid for, I believe, by the first team squad. So fair play to the guys for doing that stuff, which they will be doing, I'm sure, at a couple of places over Christmas. Good on them, brilliant. Okay, so we've got a couple more messages, and we are on YouTube. MV says hello to the best footy show from Finn. I don't know if you're Finnish, Finn. It could be. We've got a lot of Finnish fans at Carrow Road at the moment, so that's all good. And if you give me 2 seconds to flick through, because it's a little bit technical now. What else have we got? Rory Power says, greeting gents, looking forward to the news updates as always. Indeed, but we can't do the FA Youth Cup because it doesn't kick off until 7 o'clock. So, but we'll have updates, or certainly the result and reaction over at pinkun.com later tonight. Neil Luther, hi guys. Will Mr. Roder be manager of either Russ or Wes's team? And he's done a sort of a weird ghosty emoji. No. Will Paul Lambert? Ha! You might get an answer to that in a bit. Just watch this space. Keep your messages coming in, of course, and I want to know who you would want to see play in Wes or Russ, and who for, I guess, and we'll get your guys' answer on that in a moment. Now, as you may well know, we have a new app here at PinkUn, the PinkUn app. And if you become one of its users, you get exclusive content from us, including Paddy Davitt inviting you into his home on a Sunday to review the latest City action. Even I don't get that invite. So as a special treat, you can watch a little taster of last Sunday's post-Bolton edition right now, because we've actually got it this time, and I do realise we didn't have it last time. So here is the VT.
Good afternoon, alternatively good morning or good evening, wherever you are in this wonderful world. Welcome to Davitt Towers, regular Sunday feature now, regular Norwich win, regular Norwich comeback, Carrow Road. So obviously I'm claiming complete credit since I started doing these. The rest has followed, so as it were. So yeah, maybe more down to Daniel Farker and his players, to be brutally honest. But there you go. So have in front of me the papers, Sunday papers, to reflect on Norwich 3, Bolton 2. You do tend to get to the point where you're running out of superlatives, really, aren't you? But anyway, that's my take on it. Let's see what the national boys, who are now covering Norwich in increasingly bigger coverage. There was a lot of national boys there actually, and yesterday, and again, just reflects where they are in terms of the national consciousness. And yeah, more positive news. So let's go dive straight in. We've got the Sun here and top team. Nice. Just to underline that, now this is interesting for me, talking about the greater focus now on Norwich. This is the Sunday Times, one of the higher profile newspapers very big paper, but you can see Norwich are actually making it onto page 4 of their supplement, Sunday Times supplement. Big picture is obviously Mo Salah and Bournemouth, or should I say Liverpool's thumping win at Bournemouth. But you know, the fact that Norwich prolific Pookie keeps high flying Canaries top, to me that's quite a development as well. That now Norwich are not a footnote at the back of these papers, but actually featuring a little bit more prominently towards the front. I'm going to bid you farewell, but as I say, PinkUn channels for all the considered analysis, everything you'd want, quotes, video, reaction, and then we'll build up again now, starting tomorrow, Monday, up to Bristol City away. Let the games continue. Thanks for watching.
And don't forget, you can download the PinkUn app at the App Store and at Google Play. I think there is a sting for this one, is there, Dan? Strap. Yes, Strap, is there? He's smiling. It's up on screen. Amazing. I can't watch the show as well. Jeez. Just search PinkUn, 2 words, PinkUn, and hopefully that will take you through to the app. Let's hope so. Bolton, they were awkward, weren't they, in the end, which might be quite handy because, of course, they've got Leeds at home next, and we're at the point where we want teams to do a favour, don't we?
Yeah, I must admit, I don't always buy into it, because I think you just got to try and concentrate on themselves, but it's all natural to suddenly look who teams around us are playing, and Leeds playing Bolton, you think, yeah, maybe they could help us. I will say, I thought Bolton were excellent last week. So many teams have come and played us, stopped us playing, and just concentrate on that. They had a go at us, and like I say, it's a good save by Crawl in the first half, where they could have easily been 1-0 up. So yeah, I think they're a good side. I hope they do stay up, because it was nice to see a side wanted to fight with us.
Yeah, very good point, that, and well said. I'm going to ask you about Rotherham in a bit as well, Spud, obviously, as if we missed that chance. Youth games coming up, guys. We got the same buzz about them. I know these ones. I think the Wolfpack game is at Carrow Road. The FA Youth Cup one is away from home, and so will the next round be. But it's the same buzz around them compared to maybe a few seasons ago. Because think about the FA Youth Cup and the under-23s, 21s games. They'd be getting like 10,000 people in there, which were obscene crowds, really. But
yeah, crazy,
I just kind of wonder if we've had such a good progression of youngsters that actually maybe there's less interest in the sort of groups below them, maybe.
Maybe a little. And when you consider that Max Aarons is 18 years old, is in the first team, you know, a player like that, were he to still be in the under 23s, would be perhaps more of a draw. But those players are progressing so quickly and coming through. And the results haven't been so great for the young groups at this time. So I guess that kind of, if they were on a roll, and that was certainly what I think carried us through in the FA Youth Cup in 2013. Once you start getting those results and keep rolling, and it brings players in, brings fans in rather, and it's exciting and people turn up.
There's a notable change as well from developing a youth team to youth players that are actually good enough to carry through, which I suppose affects how they do in the competitions. I'm going to ask you a rude question, Calum. How old are you?
I'm 12.
It's a great age. Well done. You see these kids coming through. I mean, are you much of a footballer? Do you enjoy it?
Yeah, I do enjoy playing football.
Give a shout out for your team.
Oh yeah.
I play for Galston under 13s.
Good stuff. How's it going?
Not that great.
That's okay. Results don't matter at that age. It's all about your development. So that's all right. Are they still the Emeralds? You still playing green? Emerald
Yeah.
Green? Yeah. Is it a good club to be a part of as well?
Yeah.
It's the right answer. Well done. Well said. What about because obviously you see these guys. I mean, it's frightening to say, but Max Aarons is 6 years older than you, Calum, which is remarkable. So what do you think when you see these guys sort of doing so well?
Well, I sort of look up to them, him and Jamal Lewis, because like they're so young and they're sort of like a role model for me. Because like I play left back and Jamal Lewis plays left back, so he's sort of like turning into my favourite player, I guess.
I bet he is. So you watch quite closely what he does on a match day.
Yeah.
What's the? Okay, tell you what. Come on then. Left back scouting. What's the bit you like that he does, and what's the bit you think you could, do that better?
I like how he's like not afraid to run down the wing and like ask for a ball off Todd Cantwell or something, and then just like box and just making the chances and being like a back, which is really good.
Good work. What do you reckon he needs to work on?
I think he needs to sort of like, I don't know, anticipate like how fast the wingers are, because I think at the moment, like, he sprints too far forward, and like he gets caught. Either Todd or him get caught out by the by like a right back, and he plays it down the wing to like a right mid or something, and Jamal's sort of like left there, like sort of not grasping, but like trying to get back.
He relies on his pace a lot. He certainly does.
Quite well, though, doesn't he? He does get back quite well.
He does get back. But, you know, fair play, Calum. Well spotted. I love it. Great stuff. And also, I mean, well, we don't need to touch on this because neither of the youth games are at Colney, but the little stand is coming along as well. Has anyone seen it? The new stand at Colney?
I've seen on Twitter or Facebook. I saw it. I didn't even know anything about it. I know it sounded a bit bad, but yeah.
Right. 100 seats going in. There'll be a good view for games at Colney. I'm hoping there's a desk to do when we don't have to go and do some work from there, but it'd be better than sitting on the grass, which is what has happened in the past, and that's not very good for all sorts of reasons. So there we go. Right, let's see if we've got some more of your messages, shall we? And hopefully this is going to work, because Dan said it would work and I'll be able to see it. No, it's still not working now. Craig Brown has been in church. He said Norwich need to sign another defender in case Closer gets injured. We struggled in the Premier League under Alec Neil when Closer was injured. Hanley is not good enough for the Premier League, which is why Newcastle got rid of him. Really? Big shout, and I mean 2 mentions of the Premier League. We're not even there yet, but fair play, Craig. Also, sign another goalkeeper in case Krul gets injured. Get McGovern off the wage bill. Well, McGovern's contract is out at the end of the season, so I don't expect that one to be renewed, but good lad around about the place and all that sort of stuff. All right then, gents. So let us know who you think should play in the Wes versus Russell Martin game, who you'd like to see play. Actually, we're going to have something on that later. I'm going to come to you. Keep holding your thoughts. Keep working on it. In the meantime, I reckon we should do this, Dan. And it's me, aren't we? We're live on this time, aren't we, Dan? We're live on. So yes, it's Flip the Bird. Groans from the audience. That's good. For him in the commentary stakes. Last time out we had a rare 3-way tie, mainly because Andy Lawn was late, but that didn't stop him ruthlessly beating both his own dad and stand-in Mark, as well as top TV commentator Dan O'Hagan, with an 8-3 and 4 victory. Andy beating his previous season's best of 6. So tonight sees Spud and Nathan attempt to beat their bests of 4 and 3 respectively this season, while Calum makes his debut. He is looking forward to it. I know he is, and he's had a practice. So that's all good. The leaderboard, well, you can't see it this week, but Steve Cook is top with 11. Andy Lawn moved into joint 3rd alongside Tom Parsley with 8, so that's a bit of an along come Norwich off, which I think is a technical term. And there we go. And you guys have, well, it's probably fortunate, Nathan, we haven't got the table on this time because you're quite low down. The big opportunity for you, not wishing to put the pressure on.
Humiliated by Chris Reeve last time, so that needs to change tonight.
We've all been there. We've all been there. Okay, so Dan's got his clock out. Clock out. And we're ready to go, are you? You're just staring at me like, okay, right, brilliant. In that case, 3, 2, 1... go. Well, that was highly embarrassing, Link, but we're over it and the game has started. Calum's almost getting there. He's not quite caught one yet, but that was close. It's close. That's close. Spud's getting a bit angsty there. Nathan's being very slow. You can have that one, Calum. Have that one. Nathan, now that's a good one from Nathan. Lovely technique. A bit more of that in the same. A lot of stamping down on the catch. You need to be up for the catch, boys. You can't stamp it down. It will end up on the table. Follow Nathan's technique. It's very nice. He's just ticking on, very moderately paced, but he's ticking them on. Spud's almost there. I mean, Spud. I can't remember if Spud cheated last time. Did you cheat last time? Because that seemed to.
But I'm not going to that one. But
we're going to need a referee, I think, for future games. So, Dan's all happy.
I still can't.
It's a creditable 6.
A creditable 6. So you take it there, Spud.
I still don't get my picture with Wesley. 5.
Well, we'll probably do it. We will actually remember to do a selfie this time. How'd you get on, Calum?
I got 3.
3, that's fine. That's a great debut effort.
Best effort. Oh,
that's
debut effort.
Debut effort. Top work. It's what your dad got last time, and he's done it before.
Yeah.
So in that case, well, you're basically the winner, Calum. Well done for keeping it together. It's well done. Top work. Should we rang the sting again, Dan? Yeah. Why not? And we're back to me. Good-o. Right. So as we go to all this trouble of getting these guests in, it seems only right that we spend a little bit of QT, quality time with them, so to speak. So Spud, when are you next going to be a 4th official?
May the 6th. No.
You almost got me then. Exclusive.
Brilliant.
I mean, you say that, you might be. Or is this you This is you punting it, isn't it?
Well, that'd be lovely. Look, hey. Last year I done should I say this year? I done the Legends game, Inter Milan. That's good enough for me, and I've done other games. So no, I was only just joking when I said that. It'd be lovely to do it again, but no.
However,
I have said I am officially retired because my last offside was Jurgen Klinsmann, so I'm taking that one to my grave.
Okay. Well, but what if your last offside was Wes or something, or Grant Holt?
Oh, yeah, I'll take it.
Yeah. So Wes, Russ, if you're watching, and you need a fourth official, which I'm guessing you will, Spud's your man. Great stuff. I think we can start a campaign with that. Why not? Now, you're obviously enjoying being a dad from what we've seen on social media and all that, which is wonderful. Little things, gorgeous. Is she definitely going to be a Norwich fan?
Oh, without a shadow of a doubt, because we have got a garden shed at the bottom of the garden, and if she isn't, she can just live there.
Right. That wasn't how I was expecting it to go.
No, joking aside, no, she's been.
We are joking, are we?
She has been to one game already. Yeah.
What was it?
I was a pre-season friendly against Brighton, and sometimes as I'm not going to away games like I used to, I do listen to it. When we do score, instead of me going absolutely mad, I do control myself, give a little cheer, and even she likes how I do it, and she gives a cheer as well. So
Brilliant.
yeah.
So she's seen a Marley Watkins goal for Norwich City then?
Well, that's it. That's not many people can say that.
Collector's item.
Exactly.
And pertinent, given of course we go off to Bristol
I think
City.
I might have to speak to this young man about getting top tips, because looking at Calum, how he is a big Norwich City fan, I think Nathan is doing a fine job of being a father, so I might have to get some tips as well.
No doubt he was only ever going to be a Norwich fan.
Okay, well I'm talking about my boys. But now we know you have a Rotherham soft spot too, which is good. I can't remember the story behind that, but I mean you spoke about how well Bolton did. So what did you make of Rotherham? Because we had so much obviously about Paul Warne and coming back to Norwich, which must be brilliant for you being a Norwich and a Rotherham is your second team kind of thing.
Yeah, it's a bit strange because, like I say, I prefer obviously when they're not in the same division. I started to support them in '87 when Norwich were in the top flight, Rotherham were in the old third division, and I never thought they'd meet. I did start liking them because they used to be called Thornhill United. That's the only reason.
Right.
Really?
Yeah,
That's the only reason.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
So, because I've always loved lower league football and all that, and yeah, little did I know that years later that we'd be playing each other on a regular basis. So I've always said it's like being married and having a bit on the side. So,
right.
Yep.
Oh, you are on fire, Spud. This is going
Great
so
sound bites.
Brilliant. Yeah. We're going to cut all these out. Yeah.
But what I will say, I thought Rotherham were excellent. One thing I will say, adding on to the positive side about Norwich, one big thing about Rotherham is their fitness, and because Paul Warne used to be their fitness coach, and that's something he's always drummed into them. And last season, when they were doing well, getting promotion, it was their fitness what got them through games. We beat them on fitness on that day, and that just shows how far we have come if we're beating the clubs like Rotherham on fitness. And all those double training sessions from last year are paying off.
They did wilt after about 75 minutes.
They did, yeah.
Visibly wilted. Once
Yeah.
that third goal went in, that was it for them.
It was indeed.
Heads down, arguing.
Yeah.
It's a shame to see because they did really well. They did really well.
It'll be very interesting to see how they get on for the rest of the season. I think because they're just above water.
I'm confident they will stay up. There is going to be 3 worse sides than them, and I think we know one of them definitely.
Yeah.
And I think we can get another 2 out of them.
Hold it in, Spud. We'll get onto it in a moment. Now, Nathan, I'm not going to speak to you in this bit. I'm going to speak to your son.
Okay.
If that's all right.
No,
You brought him in, so you have to pay the penalty now.
No.
Just some quick questions, Calum, so we get to know you a bit better. Can you remember your first Norwich game?
Yes.
What was it?
It was Derby at home, 2010, 3-3.
3-2.
3-2. Yeah.
That was your first game.
Yep.
That was some game as well.
Wow. Good. Well done for keeping going, because that could have been it, basically.
I can remember picking him up as the third goal goes in and just lifting him up in the air, launching him up in the air, and I remember him standing there going woo, 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 and the whole place erupted. That was an amazing moment. I'm never going to forget that.
Where in the ground was that?
We were in the south stand.
Calum, you lucky boy. Oh, even I wasn't at that game. Your favourite Norwich City player? Ever, if you like, but it doesn't have to be.
Well, I used to like Wes, and last season liked Maddison. I think this season it's either Moritz Leitner or Jamal Lewis.
Fair play. I love it. So, well, I'm going to ask you your favourite moment as a City fan, but, I mean, was it your first moment?
Well, I think it's up there, but I don't really remember it that much because I was about...
You were
4.
five.
Oh, yeah,
4.
5.
Wow,
4.
yeah.
Yeah, and I think obviously playoffs, big moment, but probably my favourite. It's quite recent, but the Millwall game.
Yes.
Definitely.
What a day that was. That was phenomenal. Okay, so now you're 12, so I'm sure you're thinking quite heavily about what you're going to do when you're proper adult world. Do you know what you want to do in your proper adult world? Do you want to be a footballer? Do you want to do anything in football, or do you want to do like a proper worthwhile job?
Well, I'd love to do something in football, but it's just like, I don't know. You just have to get into it, I guess. But like anything to do with it, like reporting, journalism, stuff like that.
Well,
Yeah, it's fine. Keep coming on the PinkUn Show, and eventually you can just nudge me out of the way and present the show, Calum. That's the best way to do it. So it's how most people have done it in their various jobs. Lovely to speak to you. Thank you so much for coming on, Calum. Well done for bringing him on, Nathan. Top work. Right, that was good QT. Good work. Okay, so what we're going to do now, we're going to do this, because Monday at Carrow Road saw 2 returning Norwich City heroes announce their big date in May, a summer celebration to say goodbye, thank you, and raise money in the process, including the Community Sports Foundation, or CFS. That's a little joke between me and Wes there. And of course it's Build the Nest project. I got to speak to the pair, and given I was speaking to Wes and Russ at the same time, they were pretty well behaved. Well, I'm joined by Russell Martin and Wes Houlihan, 2 familiar faces, of course. With this big game coming up, gents, how much are you looking forward to it?
Massive. Yeah, it's going to be a good game. Hopefully we can, Team Wes can win. Get one over on Russ. It'd be nice.
Yeah, it's been being discussed about for a while now. So to finally announce it and get it up and running, it'll be looking forward to it. It'll be a brilliant day. It'll be a special day. We really appreciate the club are doing it for us, and it's our way of saying thanks really to fans first and foremost, and ex-teammates that have played a huge part in it since we've been here, and the staff as well. So we're looking forward to it. It'll be a little reunion of sorts of other people we haven't seen for a long time that obviously played here with us and stuff. So it should be a really positive day.
Yeah, we'll get stuck into that in a minute. How's it all come about?
Yeah, obviously we've been here a long time, and Stuart came up with the idea about, obviously he worked out with the Inter Milan game and that went out well, so it's great that me and Russ can get the opportunity to play next season in it.
And it's obviously going to be a great celebration of your guys' careers, but you're also going to get the chance to raise a fair bit of money too for different causes, isn't it? We've got a third going to the Community Sports Foundation, Build the Nest, and you two are getting to choose some of your own causes too. Yeah,
it's great, to give us that money towards our charities,
The icing on the cake that we can give something back, basically. It sounds really corny and cliche, but it is. It's when it was mentioned, and I think we're both keen on supporting the CSF, and then obviously the club's given us a lot. We don't just want to run off with some money and go thank you very much. So it's going to charities that are close to our hearts, that we've either been involved in or are still involved in now, and the fact that we can do that and be part of the day, and just the whole thing around it, really, the whole celebration of it is it will hopefully be special for us and the families, I'm sure.
Wes, you've had a chance to say goodbye effectively, and you beat Leeds. Well done. I won't ask Russ this. I'll ask you. How much should it mean that Russ gets a chance to say goodbye, and the fans get a chance to say goodbye to Russ?
Yeah, of course. What Russ done for this club. To captain him in the Premier League. To lift the trophy at Wembley. It was an amazing achievement, and he deserves a send off. He's been a great pro, but what he's done for this club outside, it's been amazing. So it's great that he's getting a send off. He deserves.
And I suppose the question is, we don't quite know where Norwich are going to be come the 6th of May. It's the day after the last day of the season, gents. Go on, you talk about it. I can't bring myself.
It's just, hopefully it's a big party for everyone. It'll just be a continued celebrations on, give people a chance to come to Carrow Road and celebrate together. That's the plan. That would be that would be a bonus for everyone. That would be amazing. And with the team doing as well as they're doing now, I don't see any reason why that can't happen. But fingers crossed, it's a continued celebration of the day before. That'll be the best thing.
It'll be special.
Yeah, it'll be very special. Obviously, you know, with having a charity game and for Norwich to get promoted, it will be a special double bubble.
Right, that's it. We're not talking any more about that because I don't want to crush anything. So the important stuff, teams. How are you going to pick? Because all these guys you're going to have played with, are they just going to be former Norwich players, or are we going to extend the net a bit?
No, it's going to be former Norwich players that we've played with over the last 10 years, and the legends that have been here as well over the course of their time. So we're getting pulled together, and hopefully we can split the teams evenly.
Yeah. Okay. And what are the rules? Got rules? Because I can imagine you sort of lining everyone up and going, one, well, I'll have him, well, they'll have them.
I think we're
going to sit down and
we'll discuss our ideal groups, and then we'll have a look at it from there, and then I'll find a way to pull the wool over Wes's eyes somehow and get the team that I want and the squad that I want, and then we'll go from there. But I think we want it to be balanced. We want it to be a good game. So
we want to be entertaining.
We've not picked, but there's about 40 lads at the minute that we can that are really desperate to be involved, and positionally it actually works out all right. So we'll want a team that people are actually playing in positions that are relatively familiar to them, and then want people to turn up and actually enjoy a good game of football as well. So it's not just going to be. We've got people now who've been retired a year or two who are desperate to get in shape for it, so they'll be working hard. So it's not just going to be a game of walking football. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Although neither of us want the whole heat, but it's going to happen one team, isn't it? So
yeah.
We'll see.
That's good. Well, we'll see who he plays for and know that you didn't want them. That would be great. Well, I hope it goes brilliantly, of course, gents. Fantastic luck. Just one question, of course. Both sides will need a coach, I'm sure. And who better than Paul Lambert, who, of course, led you to so much success? Do you reckon you can get Paul Lambert involved back here?
Yeah, obviously it'd be nice to get him back, wouldn't it? What he done for this club was amazing, and you know, it'd be nice to get their managers back.
I'll be honest, it was when I first knew about it, it was discussed, and he was up for it, and he was going to come back, but I don't think that'll be the case now. So not sure it's quite the same situation.
All right, gents, hope it's a brilliant day. Thanks for your time.
Thanks very much.
Loads of warning there from Dan. Thank you very much. That's always helpful. Right, what a pair of heroes those two are. Tickets are already selling well. It should be a great day. I would agree with the two of them that Paul Lambert probably isn't going to be in charge of either side. But we'll get to talk about the championship in a bit. Jen, so what was your reaction when you heard of the game? Because it's we've spoken a lot in maybe the last year or so about certainly Wes's testimonial, and I guess Russ, you know, not saying
well justified, isn't it? I mean, that they both deserve a send-off, and if you think about poor old Russ, I think his last game was against Millwall, wasn't it? That 4-0 horror show. So
not necessarily his horror show.
No, a collective team horror show. So I think he deserves the opportunity, and people kind of overlook the fact that he was so good for Norwich for so long. It's only the way it ended was all a bit unfortunate. But I mean, Wes has been one of the best players I think I've ever seen in a Norwich shirt. Terrific.
Indeed, and I mean, Wes has already had one goodbye, but we'll let him have another one.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, it's an interesting one as well, isn't it? Because we can't really imagine what Norwich's situation will be like the day after they played Villa on the last day of the season. Because they could be champions, they could miss out entirely. I mean, we'd almost be disappointed at that at the moment. But it's interesting. Well, they could be getting ready for the playoffs, I suppose, arguably, couldn't they, if they were doing that? This game isn't going to change, by the way. It will be taking place on the 6th of May.
Yeah, I must admit, I'm sure there's many Norwich fans like me who thought, "Ooh, we've won promotion, and it could be one hell of a party, and it'll be great." It is one hell of a party because if two people deserve it, it's definitely Wes and Russ who deserve it. So.
Right, well, we've been asking, gents, who would you like to see play? Who would you like to see rock up? It doesn't sound like Paul Lambert's going to be manager.
Well, for entertainment value, I would like Michael Theoklitos. Oh, sorry, Michael Theo in goal for entertainment value. That would be great. But no, on a joking aside, Danny Pacheco for me. I'd love to see him. That'd be good because the way he's so passionate on Twitter, and even last week he tweeted Windair, didn't he? Yeah, he did. And I just think he's still in touch with Norwich City, and I think that'd be nice if he can get over.
Yeah, that would be great. There's so many names, isn't there? I think you could look back at what we were talking about. Ollie Johnson would be a name to come who kind of disappeared, didn't he? I have no idea where he went after Norwich, but someone like him. I mean, you'll get Adam Drury rolled out, I'm sure. Same as sorry, Adam. Same as Holtley and Huckabee. I'm sure they'll appear, and rightly so, really. There's a lot of players from that League One particularly team that could come back and help make the day.
Indeed, absolutely. How about you, Calum? Anyone you want to see?
I think definitely, obviously, Grant Holt, Darren Huckabee, they'll obviously be there. But I think maybe Andrew Crofts, maybe Simeon Jackson.
Andrew Crofts, especially for his Wes Houlihan tribute video, which he did. I don't remember that. That's where he's like, "Oh, put it in the net, son! Great stuff! Whoa, Croft dog! Brilliant! I want to see that performed live on the pitch. Forget the football. That would be awesome." I mean, it would be great with Danny Pacheco. I suppose the slight problem they've got is that there are a lot of clubs that might well still be playing football, and Norwich are going to have to ask very nicely to get the players out. But I'm sure they'll try very hard. It'll be a cracking day, and it's obviously going to raise money for a lot of really good causes. They're going to split it into thirds between the Community Sports Foundation and the Build the Nest campaign and project, and also Wes Houlihan and Russell Martin have their own causes as well that they'll be raising for their third. So it should be a cracking day at the end of what is no doubt going to be a very long season, regardless of how it plays out. A couple of messages, shall we? While I was just checking while we were watching the video, so to speak. On the YouTube feed, Gary Hatt says hi. Hong Dongji says they're glad to catch you live. Greetings from South Carolina. Yes, we're live on YouTube. That's exciting. Peter Arnold says hi from Bulgaria. Kit Kat Ashton, do you think if we are promoted, Pookie will leave like Madison did because he got class? What do you reckon, Calum?
Probably not. No.
That's the spirit. That'll do for me.
Not in the Premier League. We'll keep him.
Lee Coates, do you think we'll make one or two changes on Saturday? Great question, Lee. We'll come to it in a moment. Keith Burgess, top man. Maybe Keith thinks he's a top man. These guys all top man. We're all top man. Dan, he's top man. And Jonathan Badham, evening guys. The show is getting me through a sports psychology case study. Does that mean you're studying us? I'm a bit worried here. Don't look at Dan's face, dear Lord. Okay, brilliant. Thank you so much for your messages. We really appreciate them. We've got a few on Facebook as well. We'll get through those in a bit. But let's bring you up to speed, shall we, with the championship picture as it stands heading into the weekend. Ready, Dan? He's ready. Spud's got the slides right there. West Brom did Norwich a favour on Friday night. They were on the telly, obviously. While Preston and Blackburn repeated the trick on Saturday. Managerless Reading were deposited by Sheffield United, while Paul Lambert had little to smile about on his Stoke return. But he smiled anyway. So, the plot and plight thickens for the Scot and his tractor boys, now effectively 9 points adrift of safety. Hull have improved, while Bristol City and Preston have made good strides forwards. As for the top half, the story looks increasingly wonderful for Norwich City, and in fairness, for Leeds too. The pair now have a decent gap to the competitive playoff pack, while Stoke have suddenly thrust themselves into the top 6. Only Leeds now have a better goal difference than City. So, City have the late kick-off on Saturday, a refreshing change given West Brom and Sheffield United are on the telly again on Friday. Bolton will hopefully be just as awkward for Leeds, while Ipswich have what is surely a must-win game as Wigan visit Portman Road. Villa Stoke on Saturday and the Midlands Derby on Monday night both look tasty affairs, and also a highly charged derby being played at a time other than midday on a Sunday, which is of course always rather interesting to see given what we have to go through in these parts, which is of course a derby at lunchtime on a Sunday. Do we fancy bringing the derby back to a different time, gents? Do we think it's time, or is Sunday lunchtime the way it should be?
No, without a shadow of a doubt, it's one thing that absolutely crazes me, that is always 12 o'clock midday on a Sunday, and when, with all due respect, there's a lot more volatile derbies on a 3 o'clock Saturday, or you could say, even with all due respect, Derby and Nottingham Forest on a Monday evening. And 2 weeks ago, didn't you have the Sheffield Derby on a Friday evening?
Yeah. As they did last season. So for me,
last week, Villa versus West Brom, and just thinking, I think if you speak to majority of Norwich City fans and Ipswich fans, you're not going to get the trouble which happened in the 80s. I think it's time to bring it back.
Because the irony is, there might not be one next season, the way that this is going, and through either club's abilities, to be honest. How stuffed are they?
Very. I think it's the simple answer to that. I saw something on Facebook that made me laugh this week, where I think there was the line, thank God that at this time of the year it's what's that line from the Live Aid song? It's them instead of you.
Yeah,
it just. or like you say, it's effectively 9 points now, and if they don't start winning soon, I just wish that we could play them a bit sooner, to be honest, because they can't be this bad for that long, can they?
It's a long way away. I mean, will Paul Lambert still be in charge come February is probably the big question, because January is going to have a lot to do with that. At the other end, very much at the other end. Now, when you look at this table, Spud, what do you think? Because it's obviously remarkable where Norwich are. Does anyone put fear into you? Because, you know, are Norwich going to sustain this? There's a few questions there.
Well, you know, I said earlier in the season I was positive that we were going to have a good season, and I was confident that we were going to be like 8th, 7th, something like that, and pushing for playoffs. Did I think we'd be top? And even the most positive in me, I didn't think we'd be doing as well. But we are. Teams what worry me? Well, you only have to look. I watched West Brom last week, both against Brentford and Villa, and they didn't really do much to excite me and think and they're a bigger threat than us. I know you can argue and say, well, they did beat us, but that was really early doors, and they got 2 points in their 2 home games, and they're 5th. So, not really. Some might say Leeds. I heard something on the radio today. Some club are linked with their manager. I don't know how true.
Else?
Yeah.
Wow.
So that'd be nice if that could ruffle a few feathers. So no, not really. We're just good. I've always said, just do what we do, and not worry about everybody else.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I've not seen anyone that is head and shoulders above anybody else. Arguably, maybe than us. I know that's a bit green and yellow kind of spectacles on, but we're as good as anybody and better than the majority, the vast majority.
Calum?
I think you've always got to watch out for Leeds, Sheffield United, and not really Derby, but just like any team which is on a good run. Because if you face a good team on a run, you're really gonna have to put the effort in. Whereas if you play like Hull City, they're gonna shut up shop and just try and keep a draw, I guess.
Indeed, although Hull were very good the other night, and they did also keep Norwich to a clean sheet, so we'll have to see if that's a symptom of what may be to come. Leeds and Villa, I mean, Leeds were very good down here, weren't they?
Yeah.
But and I still think Villa are the best side Norwich have actually played. They're just a little bit brittle. Long may that continue, which is all good. Okay, so let's move it on, shall we? It's Bristol City that Norwich face on Saturday. It's a 5:30 kickoff. Norwich City are on Sky Live. You might see them appear once or twice, maybe more, on Sky come the other side of Christmas. That would be due recognition for where they are in the table anyway. Yeah, Bristol City are not quite the side they were at the start of last season, although they did tail off in the second half of last season anyway, didn't they? And it's kind of forgotten the fact that Marley Watkins went over there and thought that it'd be a better fit, and he hasn't really featured. And they have had a few good results, Bristol City, but I don't know if they're a side that you'd think. We don't know, though, do we? We know what the Championship's like. It can bite you when you least expect it.
The Champions is a crazy league, because before last week's game, you would have thought Bristol City going to Birmingham, that would have been a home banker, and they come away with a 1-0 win. So they've had a couple of good away wins recently. The other one being Ipswich, and time they might get some home wins. Hopefully not this weekend. I do know a Bristol City fan, so I'm hoping he's not going to be too happy on Saturday night.
Yeah, I think that in this league, if you're going to win the league or get promotion, then you really need to be at least picking up a point away from home. And if you can just aim to not lose at somewhere like Bristol City, which isn't going to be easy, then you win your home games and pick up the odd point away from home, and more often than not, you're going to get yourself promoted.
Which is why the whole result wasn't necessarily a bad one, to be honest. And they've done pretty well since then, actually.
Yeah.
So there's a couple of selection issues. We'll have a look at the teams in a moment. But quickly, if Tim Closer misses out, which I personally think is probably quite likely because it seemed like a little bit of a nasty one, who plays? Because it's either Ben Godfrey, who did so well, of course, at the weekend, or you've got Grant Hanley sitting there. It's a really tough call, I can think.
I've gone for Godfrey. I know we're going to talk about the team news, that one. I thought he'd done all right last week. People might say, well, we conceded 2 goals, but I think he played very well and he's got a lot of strengths. I know Grant Hanley is the captain, but I don't see him coming straight back. And I think we should stick with Godfrey.
Yeah, I think that if he doesn't play, if Tim doesn't play, Ben was the better of the two centre-backs on Saturday for me, and that passing ability out of the defensive position is something that adds something. Rather than just hoofing it or launching it, he's a guy that, having played midfield, can pass the ball.
Well, I would go Godfrey because Daniel Farker really rates him. He said he's going to be world class.
He did.
And at the moment, it looks like he's really progressing really well. And I think he's what we need for the future. I think him in defence is like really good because of course he used to be a midfielder and he's sort of switched into this centre-back role really well and he's really adapted.
Good stuff, love it. Well, we will see who Daniel goes with. I think Daniel likes playing young players and he likes having faith in them. That's the thing that gets me. I don't think he would change it. All right, let's have a look at 11, shall we? Because we are running out of time. Who's first, Dan? Spud's first. Here we go. Now, we've kind of assumed that I guess Morris Slater is not fit, have you? Or would you start him if he is?
No, if Mo's back, Nathan did say that on Instagram today that Mo did have a picture of him with his boots on with thumbs up, so that might be a clue. If he is fit, I'm sorry, even if he scored last week, I would put Mo in front of him. But I've picked a side on the understanding that I don't think Leitner and Closer will be fit. And so I've stuck with the same as last week.
Yeah, fair enough, which is a recurring theme. Let's have a quick look at Nathan's, shall we? Now, Nathan, you've kind of made the opposite assumption. Is they both might be fit.
If Closer's fit, I would play him, just because him and Zimmerman have had such a good partnership. And if Mo's fit, then Mo is an automatic starter for me. If Tim isn't fit, then yeah, Ben Godfrey would play for me. And if Mo isn't fit, then I think that Mario has done well enough in the last two games to certainly keep that spot.
I actually do think it'd be really harsh for Mario. That's his, and that's fair play to Mario.
Scoring and making assists, yeah, fair play to Mario.
It is indeed, which is a great position to be in. Okay, a couple of more questions on here. Oliver Scutt, this City team's greatest strength is their intelligence. Really impressed with how they've adapted, developed, and found creative solutions to win games. Well said, Oliver. Great comment. Mariam Bollier, hopeful, Virginia supporter from afar. We've got two watching from Virginia. How about that? I assume the same Virginia in the world. Yeah, indeed, yes. That's exactly two Norwich fans is a supporters club. Get yourself together, Marion and Stephen Noakes. Phil Dents, no derby next season, crying emoji. Colin Woods, he would, for the Team Russ team, Wes team, he'd like to see Mark Rivers down the wing. That would be great. What a shout that would be. Rivo, get Rivo down. Rivo, get Rivo down. That would be a great shout. I want to see Rivo play. Fantastic. And Dave McKenzie, Elliot Bennett and Fraser Forster. Two other great shouts.
Fraser Forster, yes. Because he's not going to be playing for Southampton, is he?
No, exactly. Yeah. This is it. And I guess Elliot Bennett will be done for the season with Blackburn, so that would work too. So yes, great shouts, David. Watch this space and claim the credit if you get it right. Okay, final then, Bristol City. Let's have a prediction. Calum, you can go first.
I think it's going to be a close game. I think they might play the same as Hull, so I'm going to go 2-1.
2-1 win.
Yeah.
2-1?
Yeah.
I'm going to go a 1-0 win. Pookie to score.
Oh.
I'm going to be a bit boring, I am. After Bristol's great win last week, it does worry me, and I think it might be a bit of a sticky one, so I'm going to go for 1-1 draw.
I have to say, Spud, that's exactly what I was going to say, so there we go. Right, that is it from us for tonight. I hope you've enjoyed the show, be it on PinkUn.com, Facebook, Twitter and YouTube. Did that actually work, Dan? I don't know if it worked. Well, let's not speak too soon. My fingers are still crossed. Remember, if you have missed any of the show, you can catch up on all of it and all our superb Norwich City coverage. That's on the PinkUn's Facebook page, Twitter feed, YouTube channel, and our brand new app, of course. But first and foremost, PinkUn.com. I'll be at Ashton Gate on Saturday alongside Paddy Davitt and David Freezer for the 5:30 p.m. kickoff. So make sure you keep tabs on all our platforms for our build-up team news live and behind-the-scenes coverage, reaction, and analysis. And if you see us around, then make sure you come up and say hello. We'll be back here again next Wednesday evening at the Woolpack on Golden Ball Street in the centre of Norwich from 6 p.m. roughly live for another PinkUn show with all the usual fun and games. So please join us then, be it in the flesh. You can join us down the pub if you wish, or online. And in the meantime, a big thank you to our guests tonight, to Spud, to Nathan, and to Calum. Thank you so much for coming in. You enjoy it?
I always enjoy it, and thank you for having me on.
Calum, you enjoy it?
Yeah, it's been really good.
Good man. We'll do it again. To the Woolpack, as always, for letting us rock up in the corner of their pub, and to the crew, which is Dan. Top work, Dan. Well done. He's giving himself a whoop, which is well deserved. And of course, to you guys for watching and getting involved. We really appreciate your time. We'll see you again next week. Until then, here's to the Robins being robbed of 3 points, because you can't win every game by a load of goals. That just wouldn't be good for English football. Good night.